Good evening and welcome on behalf of the Orangeburg Area League of Women Voters. I am Angela Small Blaylock and will be the moderator for the forum this evening. The League is a nonpartisan organization interested in helping to educate voters about the candidates as they prepare to vote for Orangeburg's mayor. The LWV does not endorse candidates or political parties. The City of Orangeburg operates under the council form of government where elected representatives serve as the decision-making body. There are 7 council members, including the mayor. Each council member holds 1 vote and acts as Congress on a local level. Their duties include voting on new laws, approving the city budget, approving land usage, hiring and firing city employees, including police officers and library staff, coordinating city events, and advocating for their constituency. They serve 4-year terms. You will have the opportunity to vote for one of these candidates starting on Monday. Early voting is available from August 25th through September 5th, 2025, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The voting center is located at the Orangeburg County Voter Registration and Election Office at 147 Amelia Street, Orangeburg, South Carolina, 29115. The actual election day is on Tuesday, September 9th. Your voting location will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Please visit scvotes.org to check your polling location. It may be different than last November. Now for some housekeeping. We ask that all participants mute their audio and turn off their video so only the moderator and the candidates are seen, and there is no background noise. We've asked each of the candidates not to post any political signs or partisan materials on their screens. Your questions or comments will be seen only by the moderator. Questions were developed by the League of Women Voters of the Orangeburg area. The moderator will ask all of the questions. These are the rules of the forum. First, each candidate will be allowed 60 seconds to introduce themselves. Then, each candidate will be allowed 90 seconds to respond to every question. In the interest of fairness, we will rotate candidates to provide an opportunity for each to go first in answering questions. Lastly, each candidate will have 60 seconds to make a closing statement and give voters information on how to contact them and learn more. These time limits will be strictly enforced. David Smith from the Orangeburg Area League of Women Voters will help the candidates keep track of time. He will give a 30-second warning, a 15-second warning, and then will hold up a card that says stop when the time is up. Candidates will not be allowed to interrupt one another while answering the questions. No inappropriate language, no name calling, etc. will be allowed. No time is allotted for rebuttals. Candidates can make clarifications during the time allotted to them for answering the questions. Let's begin this forum with a moment of silence. Thank you. Now let's introduce the candidates. 5 candidates are running for mayor of the city of Orangeburg. All candidates were invited to this forum. With us today, we have 4 of the candidates: Darnell Johnson, Jean Nelson, Jeanna J Reynolds, and James McQuilla. We will begin by asking each candidate to begin with a 60-second opening statement. Darnell Johnson.
Good evening, Orangeburg. My name is Darnell Johnson, and I am ecstatic and excited to introduce myself as a candidate for your mayor of Orangeburg. Tell you a little bit about myself for those who don't know me or otherwise familiar with me. Um, I grew up here in Orangeburg, right on Bucket Street, down from South Carolina State University. Attended the public schools here in Orangeburg, graduated from OW High School, and even marched on the Orange Pride Band. So I'm Orangeburg inside and out. A little bit more about myself. After graduating high school, I served in the United States Marine Corps. Upon my exit of the United States Marine Corps, I became a certified law enforcement officer as well as a certified firefighter for the state of South Carolina with the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety in 2006. From there, I continued my law enforcement career while also creating businesses in the form of entrepreneurship in the form of Grassmasters of South Carolina with the continuation on to which we now have Valley Coaching Logistics Commercial Driver Training School, which is headquartered here in Orangeburg. I have two children. My son is 19. He attends OC Tech here in Orangeburg, and my daughter is 21. She's a senior this year at South Carolina State University. So that is my rivalry, my house.
So sorry about that. We just need to double check that all the candidates can see the timekeeper so that we all have the same amount of time. So, let's see.
David is on the screen. He's pinned on the screen, so he can be seen by all candidates at all time.
Okay.
Okay. Can all the candidates see David? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see him? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And he'll be showing those time cards at 30, 15, and stop. Okay. We can proceed.
The
Okay.
next candidate is Jeanna Nelson.
Good evening, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for Orangeburg is a city with incredible potential, but we need proven leadership to move it forward. For 20 years, I've worked inside the city government, and I know how it operates from the ground up. I've lived here for 50 years, and my commitment has always been to this community and its people. As your mayor, I won't need time to learn on the job. I'll be ready to lead on day one. Because I'm retired, I can dedicate my time and energy to this city, not just what's left over after another job. My only priority is making Orangeburg stronger, safer, and more prosperous. Together we can build trust in our government, make smart financial decisions, and create a city we're all proud to call home. I'm not here for politics. I'm here to serve. Let's get Orangeburg back on track together. Thank you.
Jeanna J Reynolds.
Good evening. My name is Jeanna Reynolds, and I also am born and raised here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I was born on the outskirts in the county on a farm, and I lived here, went to Edisto School District for 12 years, graduated there, and then went to USC and graduated from USC in 2005. I have 4 children, 3 boys that I helped raise, and then my son, my 4th son, Bo Reynolds, he is 6. Bo goes to school here, and I also own a business, Major Graphics. So I started this business with my husband. My husband started the business, but I took it on after he passed away, and I think it's flourished since my leadership. I would say that my passion and love for the community and the people of Orangeburg, my willingness to take on a challenge, and my ability to run a business will make me your best candidate.
James McQuilla.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for this opportunity. My name is James McQuilla. I am currently the president of the Orangeburg County Chamber of Commerce. I am a proud father of 2 children. My daughter is a practicing physician. My son is a practicing lawyer. And I am myself a graduate of the Citadel with an MBA from Winthrop University. I have an extensive history in both employment, economic development, and community relations. And I think those 3 crucial areas are areas that we need to put the city of Orangeburg back on track and then thrive. I would like to just say for the record that I'm excited about this opportunity and I'm looking forward to being the mayor of Orangeburg and the type of mayor that we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's begin with question number 1 to candidate Johnson. What are the top 3 issues you will address, and what, if anything, would you do differently if elected?
Thank you for your question. The top 3 issues I will address is fiscal management being number 1. I will secure the budget and immediately pretty much order a forensic accounting, a forensic accountant investigation. Second, I will focus on crime to reduce our crime statistics because no one loves to live in a community where there's crime, is riddled by crime. The third thing I will work on is pretty much establishing that youth-based summer program and youth-based after hours program, because we often talk about the job, skill, trade, and things like such, but we must start with the youth. We can't wait till they become adults. So out of those 3 areas, those will be my top 3 areas. Fiscal responsibility with the budget, crime, as well as our youth. That will be my 3 items.
Dean Nelson?
Yes, my top 3 items would be number 1, growth of the city. We have been losing population and tax base for years, and if this continues, the city is going to be in real trouble. I'm proposing that we make Orangeburg a retirement community, advertise it as a retirement community, and try to get people to move into Orangeburg. Older people are more likely to come here than younger people because we don't have the amenities and the educational system that younger people want. Also downtown. This is a sore spot and we need to get business into the downtown area. I have a plan to do that. I'm intend to sit down with all the vacant property owners and discuss what they intend to do with their buildings. If they don't want to work with the city, then they need to sell their businesses. The third thing is crime. Of course, we want to work on crime. I think we need to have more officers on the street patrolling. I worked as public safety officer, and I know that the time that I was a public safety officer, I would cruise the streets of the city, and I could cover just about every street every hour that was in my jurisdiction.
Jeanna Reynolds?
Yes, I guess the top 3 things that I would do. Number 1, I would reach out to the community and become friends with all of the Orangeburg citizens of the city and see what would be their idea of making Orangeburg even better, even bigger, even more of a wonderful place to live, grow, work, and play. They could help me make this area a beautiful place, even more beautiful than it already is. I guess number 2 would be I would want to help DPS and our fire department ensuring that the equipment, everything is up to date, running well, going right, and making sure that our Department of Public Safety is very happy. And then I guess my third thing definitely would be to rehabilitate the downtown area. I worked closely with Dora and served on Dora, Downtown Orangeburg Revitalization Association for 10 plus years. And there was a good bit of movement the years of 2019, 20. And I think that Mayor Butler has also done a great job with growth, but I think that there's also room for more to work downtown.
James McQuilla.
Yes. Number one, focus is the financial management of the city. I think we can all agree that over the last few years, finances in the city have gone awry. So I do have a background to understand how budgets work, in particular, government budgets, municipal budgets. So that's number one. And there's some specific things that need to take place in order to make sure we get back the fiscal, a positive fiscal statement behind us. Number two, economic revitalization of downtown. We are the county seat of Orangeburg, and we must be representative in a way that when folks visit Orangeburg, they have something very positive to talk about when they leave. And in fact, may be the place that will end up being their final destination. And so we have to have a plan for revitalizing downtown. Number three, and also very, very important, is creating a unified focus in the city. We may be different individuals, but we have shared visions, and we need someone to help lead us toward that shared vision so that Orangeburg is not about us or them, but about we. Those are my top three.
That brings us to question number 2. And the question is, do you have a plan for the revitalization of downtown Orangeburg? And if so, please be specific. Jean Nelson.
Yes, downtown needs attention and beautification. Let's be honest. Painting buildings alone won't bring businesses back. The real challenge is getting the right businesses to open and be successful. That's why I plan to meet with every owner of the vacant buildings. Right now, many are hesitant to invest because they don't see a clear path to success. Working with the city and DPU, I suggest we offer startup breaks and support. We can lower those barriers and help them to thrive. I ran an antique business and picture framing business in downtown for many years, and I know how hard it is to struggle for a small business. They have to be the right kind of businesses. If you go around to some of these small towns and you see why they're successful, it's because of the type of businesses they have: art galleries, antique shops, craft stores, and that kind of thing. Restaurants. These kind of businesses will bring people, energy, and traffic back to downtown. Exactly what we need to support the retirement community we're building around the downtown.
Jeanna Reynolds.
So the first thing that I would do downtown would be to engage with Main Street, South Carolina. Main Street, South Carolina is the organization that has built downtowns such as Greenville, Manning, Orangeburg was a part of Main Street downtown, and it flourished for a long time. The fee is minimal for that, so I think that it would be wonderful to partner with someone that could help us beautify downtown area. Also, many of our buildings are owned by people that don't live in Orangeburg, live states away. Therefore, they don't know how bad of shape their building is in. I would reach out to those building owners and try to find a common ground, happy medium to where we could work something out to make it more proactive and quicker downtown of the beautification. When I was working with Dora, we did the project Tea Time, and it was a beautiful project. We took an old building and we gutted it, and then just really bare boned it. And Tea Time was the winner of a small business, and they came in, and it has flourished.
James McQuilla.
So specifically, I would look at some things that are in place to help development. Number one, I would help establish a private-public partnership, because we have investors who've already reached out to me, private investors who are interested in helping Orangeburg grow. There are public funds that are both at the state level and at the federal level that we can merge with private investors to help us purchase properties, renovate properties, and also attract businesses. Number two, downtown is in the opportunity zone. So again, you have investors who are looking for places to put money so that they don't, so they won't have to pay on capital gains. And if we market it in a way, because we fit the opportunity, the possibility for opportunities for those who are investing with opportunity zones, then they can also help produce the funds that's necessary for us to grow without taking taxpayers' money. Number three, there are developers who are excited about a new Orangeburg, new leadership, and they would be willing to also be a part of that. And then last but not least, there are state grants, federal grants that I've worked on in the past that I also know using our local delegation, we can get those to bring in money to help us grow downtown, and we ourselves would not need to tax the citizens anymore.
Darnell Johnson.
Thank you for your question. Beautiful, brighter Orangeburg is pretty much what my campaign platform is built on. First thing we're going to focus on is the aesthetics, beautification. We're going to go downtown, and first of all, we're going to take out the old landscaping and put in new landscaping and bring real life back to it. Just that will be the cheapest, the most effective way to actually get folks coming back to downtown, showing pure ownership to downtown arena. The second thing is I would actually get with code enforcement to actually check with the business owners or actually get inside those businesses to see if they're actually able to be occupied. If they're able to be occupied or unable to be occupied, we'll make sure we issue them necessary violation notices and give them approximately 90 days to present a plan to the city and what their plan is to do with a building that's unable to be unoccupied. From there, if they fail to respond, then the city would then take action to take that building down and use it for possibly more public access and create additional green spaces or open up that opportunity for other private investors at that point to actually purchase that property. But that is one great way to get downtown moving in the right direction, by holding those business owners accountable, stop talking about it, and actually be about it. It's been long enough. It's been 12 years. It's time to get it done.
Question number 3. What are your plans for economic growth and development? And please be specific. And this question goes first to Jeanna Reynolds.
So I believe the key to economic development would be annexation. I think making a larger area will help grow the city, and I think that more businesses will continue to come in those areas and as we continue to grow.
James McQuilla.
So I have a plan called 10 for 10. I've already reached out to CEOs that I know personally with major corporations across the US. I would ask these 10 companies that already have thousands of employees to promise us 10 jobs each that are jobs that are remote jobs. These jobs would pay at least $50,000, and I'm talking Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wells Fargo, Centene, Lincoln Financial, UPS stores, and H&R Block. Just some folks that have senior level executive positions or CEO positions. And we're asking for those jobs for graduates of both Claflin and South Carolina State or others who could meet the requirements. And they would work downtown in a building that's owned by the city. That's 100 jobs in 100 days. And I said earlier, I've already reached out to CEOs who are very interested in doing that. That would be first.
Darnell Johnson.
Thank you for your question. It goes back again to my campaign platform, Beautiful Brighter Orangeburg. You cannot talk about economic development without talking about job training, skills training. As you can see, folks on my wall, we're already doing this. We're not here to talk about it. We've been about it. As you can see, all those individuals on the wall behind me. What I'm getting at is the fact that every individual that comes to our program here at my school, they actually are placed in forms of employment of making at least $80,000 or better. Thus, contributing to a 17.5 GDP to the Orangeburg community. GDP stands for gross domestic product. And that was in 2024. In 2025, this year, we actually have doubled that number at 34 million leaning into $35 million. So with economic development, you must focus on job training. You cannot talk about economics and not partner with your local colleges and universities, particularly with Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College, with their different amazing programs that they have out there as far as blue collar workers, as well as some white collar workers. It's just the fact of bridging the gap to making sure that we're coming down all spaces when it comes to economic development and job training. At the end of the day, the goal is to train these folks so they be work ready. Like I said, here at my school, somebody could come in and invest 30 days and they're going to the field making $80,000 or better a year, thus contributing to the GDP, the gross domestic product of Orangeburg itself. And these are folks who are here at home.
And Jean Nelson.
Orangeburg needs to grow its tax base, and we can't do that by standing still. One way is to bring new life into our neighborhoods through new buildings and renovating homes. But let's be honest, young people aren't moving here because we lack the amenities, and our school system still needs work. That's why we must shift our focus. The most likely group to locate to Orangeburg is senior citizens. Across the country, retirees are leaving the northern states, searching for warmer weather and affordable living. South Carolina is the fastest growing state in the Union, and Orangeburg continues to lose population. Many are tired of Florida and are looking for alternatives. Orangeburg can be that alternative. We should promote our city as a retirement destination. Developing 55 and plus communities, assisted living, and housing tailored to seniors. We have land within 1 mile of City Hall ready for redevelopment. With the right partnerships, we can transform those areas into thriving communities that bring new residents, new businesses, and new tax dollars. The redevelopment alone is not enough. We also need to annex. There are millions of dollars of tax revenue sitting right outside our borders.
Question number 4. How will you address the concern that citizens have regarding crime in their communities? This question goes first to James McQuilla.
So just to give you a little background, I've worked many different types of jobs, and where crime is concerned, I spent 2 years as the coordinator for the Victim Witness Assistance Program in the Second Judicial Circuit, working out of the solicitor's office and handling Bamberg, Barnwell, and Aiken. I also spent 2 years as the associate municipal judge for the city of Lancaster, South Carolina. And prior to coming to Orangeburg, I was on Sheriff Leon Lott's Citizens Advisory Committee, reviewing any incident that occurred with police. I think that crime itself, we've tried so many different ways to lower it, and they haven't worked. And so my goal is not to do what we've done before and then expect a difference. That is the definition of insane. We have to improve jobs that pay a livable wage. By doing that, we will reduce crime. I actually created a entertainment economy that I have. We're going to bring the entertainment economy to Orangeburg because it's where young people who are committing most of the crime find an interest. They're interested, they can make money, and if it's done well through, again, as I mentioned, a public-private partnership, we will reduce crime by giving them something to do that makes them gainfully employed, and they're no longer a part of the underground economy.
Darnell Johnson.
Thank you for your question. It goes back to, again, my platform, Beautiful Bright Orangeburg. On the Orangeburg portion, it talks about community-oriented policing. It talks about crime prevention through environmental designs. We can sit here and we can talk, but when I joined the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety back in 2006, we had a program called Community-Oriented Policing, who was led by Sergeant McQuilla Polidor at the time. The biggest thing we need to do for law enforcement officers is make sure that we are first in the state, that we lead the state in salary as it relates to law enforcement officers. If you go back just last evening to the city council meeting, I asked the council to consider increasing the city police department average start salary adjustment across the board from $50,000 once certified to $65,000 across the board. That's going to check the box for not only recruitment, but also for retention. At the end of the day, the goal is to actually get more officers into the city, allowing them to be more proactive versus reactive. Currently, the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety is running pretty much what we call skeleton shifts. It makes it unsafe for them, it makes it unsafe for the community, but they're doing the best that they have with what they got. And remember, here in the city of Orangeburg, it's such a dynamic place. Given our history, we want to make sure that we are proactive versus reactive when it comes to law enforcement itself. And according to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, we're ranked in the top 5 in the entire state of South Carolina. So therefore, the goal is to be proactive versus reactive. Thank you for your question.
Gene Nelson.
Yes. When I worked at public safety office, we had 2 shifts, or two different, anyway, we had 8 people on the shift, and each one would work a different section of town, and their job was to patrol the streets. Well, I don't see the people patrolling the streets anymore. I can sit out on my front porch for half a day and never see a police officer go by my house. So the main thing I want to look at first is I want to get these officers on the street patrolling. We've got too many people sitting in the office. They need to be working on the high crime areas and being on the streets to see what's going on. Empty buildings. Empty buildings contribute to crime. And empty buildings, whether commercial or residential, don't benefit anybody. DPU doesn't collect utilities, the city doesn't collect business licenses fees, and the taxes begin to deteriorate. Within 2 miles of the city of Orange, in the city hall, I can point to more than 200 properties sitting vacant and deteriorating. 85 of them I've already shown in my YouTube video, Orangeburg, a Dying City. If nothing is done, the value of these properties will drop to almost nothing, shifting the tax burden onto the hardworking citizens who maintain their homes and businesses.
Jeanna Reynolds.
I used to walk downtown Orangeburg and there would be someone riding a bike on the streets in a police uniform, obviously a policeman. And it made me feel safe. I think that's the key as well. I think that the more feet we have on the ground and the more positions that are filled to help the Department of Public Safety will be the key to reducing crime. Obviously, if you see an officer on our streets, it is very warming that you feel safe. And I think that would deter people from coming in and committing crime. Also, I would create a better workplace for the Department of Public Safety. I think it needs to be more enjoyable atmosphere as well as better equipment. So I would try to raise the budget to get both.
Our final question pertains to healthcare. What will you do to ensure access to quality healthcare at an affordable cost, especially for those vulnerable groups such as children, the elderly, veterans, people with disabilities, and the economically under-resourced? This question goes first to Darnell Johnson.
Thank you for your question. When it comes to healthcare and affordability, we already have a lot of great community organizations, both from MUSC and as well as across the state, different organizations like the South Carolina Cancer Alliance. You have many different healthcare coalitions as well throughout the community that's already doing the work, reaching out to the community, meeting the community where they are. The goal is to match those individuals, giving them the resources that they need to actually deploy their resources even more equitable. If they're at a location, the goal for myself as the mayor is to actually make sure we're promoting all of those events on a citywide calendar. So we can actually, yield out to our different organizations like churches, even the colleges and universities, to our school district. Because we all, we live in an underserved community according to the federal government. So my thing is, I always have a problem with how are we underserving the underserved? That makes my heart break. How are we underserving the underserved? Not only that, but I will also look to actually deploying a citywide or municipal-based transit system that's going to allow folks access to healthcare. During my most recent town hall at the cinema, a young lady asked about that position, but I remember growing up on Buckley Street when we used to have a citywide transit system here in Orangeburg. They were actually red and white buses that would actually allow the citizens to go to main spots from the clinic on Summers Avenue to the hospital up on Cook Road and 601, and just different areas throughout our community. Therefore, thus giving our citizens access to that care and dental places. Thank you.
Jean Nelson.
Yes. Government exists to provide services and infrastructure that individual property owners could never afford on their own. Police and fire protection, sanitation, parks, and here in Orangeburg, even utilities. But they are the price of living in a safe, functioning community. Orangeburg is in a situation right now where they're economically strapped. At this point, healthcare is going to be on the back burner. Healthcare is covered by the state and the federal government. I would love to give everybody a free insurance policy, but Orangeburg's situation right now, we've got to get this city going before we can do anything like that. Orangeburg has been incorporated since 1883. It cannot simply disappear. So those of us who own property must be responsible for keeping it strong. That means maintaining our homes and businesses and following the community standards and expecting the same from our neighbors. But when city leaders mismanage tax dollars everyone suffers. Last year alone ended with a $2.5 million deficit. That's unacceptable. Something must change. Together we can have the power to fix it.
Jeanna Reynolds.
Miss Blaylock, I apologize, but I didn't hear the question. Do you mind repeating it?
Sure. What will you do to ensure access to quality health care at an affordable cost, especially for those who are in the vulnerable groups such as children, the elderly, veterans, people with disabilities, and the economically under-resourced?
I think the Orangeburg Free Medical Clinic is a great place to take to have for Orangeburg, and I would think that it would be a great idea to expand on that. There's a lot of fantastic volunteers there and paid workers, and I think that that there's enough resources to expand so everyone can have quality health care. That's all.
Thank you. James McQuilla.
So the three things, I'm gonna share this. The three things I always wanted for my own kids is the same thing I want for everyone else: to be happy, healthy, and safe. So where healthy is concerned here is we can increase through the city the collaboration with the medical providers that are in the area. MUSC Orangeburg, Hope Health, Family Medical Center, some of the private practices. And we also, we're a farming community. And I think we all know that fresh produce, or whole foods, as we like to say, are a key for living a healthy or having a healthy life. So promoting a healthy lifestyle and working through collaborations with our local health providers and including our farm community. Farmers in Orangeburg produce at the level of no one else, at a higher level than anyone else across the state of South Carolina. So for Orangeburg, the people of Orangeburg, to have such a low health lifestyle is a dichotomy. So I think we should. I think we should include the farmers in that.
We had a brief interruption there.
Yeah. So I just want to end. I think the farmers can help us provide folks with fresh fruits and vegetables, because even that is part of medical training right now for what doctors are telling patients they need to do: eat better, live better, and collaborations with those who are providing medical assistance to our people.
Thank you. This brings us to our closing statements. Each of the candidates will have 60 seconds for their closing statements, including where voters can contact them and learn more. We will start with candidate Darnell Johnson.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters. Well, I would say second. First of all, I'd like to thank God, because He's the reason why we're here this evening, because we actually move under His power and breathe under His power. So I will always give reverence to God. For anyone who's looking out to reach out to me, my phone number is 803-747-2163. I can also be found at my organization, the Valley Coaching Logistics Immersive Driver Training School, located here at 680 John C. Calhoun Drive, across from KFC and Taco Bell here on 301. You can't miss us. Look for the big trucks. Last but not least, going back to God, and according to God's word, He said, when the sun came up, it shall be called day. And when the sun went to rest, it shall be called night. With that being said, my name is Darnell Johnson, and I'm a candidate for mayor of Orangeburg for beautiful, brighter Orangeburg. Good night, y'all.
Dean Nelson.
Yes. Don't be fooled by empty promises. I have 20 years experience working inside this city, and I know exactly what it's going to take to fix what's broken. I've lived here for 50 years and I've made a lifelong commitment. Two of the candidates don't even own property in the city. How can they make decisions about raising taxes when those increases won't affect them? Except for the mayor, none of the others have government experience. We can't afford to waste more time training someone new on how the city works. I'm ready to serve on day one. Being mayor pays just $25,000 a year, and most of the candidates will have to juggle a full-time job to make ends meet. That means less time for the people's business. As I've said before, I'm retired. I have the time, the knowledge, and the dedication to get Orangeburg back on track. You can contact me at genenelsonformayor@gmail.com. Thank you, League of Women's.
Jeanna Reynolds.
My name is Jeanna Reynolds, and I plan to work very hard with the citizens of Orangeburg to make Orangeburg a wonderful, even better place to live, play, and work. I have 16 years of experience as a business owner in Orangeburg County and have learned a lot of business. And also, I realize that this is a lifelong learning journey as things change, progress, and evolve. A government position will add another challenge for me to learn and grow. Because of my eagerness and ability to learn new things, I am up for that challenge. My 6-year-old son, Bo, and I enjoy the beauty and perfection in this city, and I would love the opportunity to build on that.
James McQuilla.
Thank you for, again, League of Women Voters for this opportunity. My goal as mayor is to challenge and inspire our current citizens and the upcoming generations to be the change makers. I promise to be honest, fair, visionary, and relentless in my efforts to create a new Orangeburg where all citizens are healthy, happy, and safe, where the economy is thriving and we are back on the path of fiscal responsibility, and the quality of life is pleasing to all generations. Most of all, however, I will lead the effort to unite all citizens to reject the current policy of them versus us and make we the word that defines Orangeburg. We will be successful when we work together. If you'd like to contact me, you can reach me by phone, 803-361-6285. Also at 1009 John C. Calhoun Drive, or McQuilla for Mayor on Facebook and McQuillaforMayor.com.
This concludes our forum for the evening. We would like to thank the candidates for attending, everyone who submitted a question for our candidates, and you, the audience, for listening and becoming more informed voters. We encourage voters to go to scvotes.org to make a plan to vote. Check your registration, find your polling place, because it may be different from the polling place in November, and see what's on the ballot. Call your Board of Elections office by August 29th to apply for an absentee ballot. That number is 803-533-6210. Early voting begins on Monday, August 25th. Please vote and encourage your neighbors to do so as well. Thank you and have a lovely evening.